o'clock. We've got quite a bit to get through, so let's get started. So for those of you who haven't met me before, I'm Charlie. Hello. So I started Urban Writers Retreat in 2008, essentially to help writers write and to help me write. And I mostly do that by helping people carve out time and space to write with physical retreats, online retreats, but also I support writers by providing structures and encouraging them, I guess things like this, and also courses like the 6-month novel. And when I first started doing this, I'd been drifting through life, trying to do the things that you're supposed to do as an adult, but I wasn't particularly happy. And it's only when I started to ask what I wanted to do and getting clear on why, on what's actually important to me, that I was able to start leading my own life, which I've never looked back from. And so that is why I'm a bit of a planner nerd. And I think it's really important to just take that little bit of time to pause and get clarity on what you want and why. It's really powerful. It's really important. And so I try and take you guys on this journey with me every year so that you can act with intention. And when you make decisions, you can do it from a place of knowing what's important to you. So hopefully you do have the worksheet. If anyone wants me to drop the link again, let me know. If you happen to have a diary, then it is at the start of the diary. You can do your writing dreams and you can come back every month, every quarter, and yes, I will just drop that link again. You can come back every month, every quarter, and just review how things are going. And that I really encourage you to do that, regardless of how you're doing it, whether you're doing it in the diary or in something else, because it gives you the flexibility to be able to change your goals as the year goes on, as priorities change, as you discover new and exciting things, whatever it is. I know that someone, I don't know if Sean's here, but I know that someone was saying, oh, I didn't do any of my goals last year. I accidentally wrote 2 novels. I mean, that's brilliant. And that's not in any way a failure to stick to your goals. It's that other stuff came up and, you know, you respond to that. So this goal setting isn't about giving yourself a set in stone structure that you cannot deviate from. It's just about understanding what's important to you. And then if other stuff comes up, that's fine. And you can make new goals for the second quarter, for whatever it is that are more appropriate at that time. But this will just help you frame your year. The sheets are pretty much, yeah, in the same as is in the diary, Fiona. Josephine, sorry, someone's asking about sending overseas. I'll respond to that in a minute. So I've already said I'm going to keep you muted. This is just because of time, but I will pause a couple of times and ask you to drop answers if you want to in the chat. And the other thing to say is to respond to these questions quickly. Try to just let out whatever comes out. And certainly when I do it in the diary, I quite often write mine in pencil because I'm not sure that I'm doing it right, and I'm not sure whether I'm going to want things to change. But what's interesting is that if you can let almost your subconscious, if you can just let the first thing that comes out come, quite often that is the right answer anyway. Trust yourself, trust your instincts. So I am going to start the old screen share. Can everyone see that? Yeah, cool. We're not starting soon, we're already starting. So we're just going to do a little review of last year and then get on to what those writing dreams are and goal setting. So let's start with last year. If you happen to have a diary or something with what you did last year, or if you can see old notebooks, that might help. But it's not essential. the first thing that we're going to do is celebrate the positive, and this is really important. Celebrate big and small successes, because big success doesn't just happen. People who have a novel published this year, that didn't just happen overnight. There was a huge trail of small successes running up to that, of things that you did that made that happen. Every big success is made up of 100 tiny ones, probably more than that. Also, praise is much better motivation than criticism. Um, so I really encourage you to get into the habit of celebrating the good things that you do as often as you can. I actually do it every week, and it's one of the nicest parts of the week. It makes a difference to what you start to notice about yourself, and how you feel about things. So, what if you're coming to this new and you haven't done any writing in the last year, or you think I haven't done anything that's worthy of celebrating? Well, did you read? Um, did you did something make you decide to commit to writing again? Did you go to the malls and think, oh, well, this is what the Brontes were inspired by? Wow. Anything like that, anything tiny can be celebrated, even just picking up your pen again and starting to journal. So I'm going to give you 5 minutes um, to just do that. And once you've got the big things and you think, that's all I've done, keep going, try and get some more small ones. All right. Okay, great. So the next question is, what last year did not go so well? And you can absolutely come back to this and give yourself more things to celebrate later, if you haven't finished. But the reason that I want you to ask what didn't go so well is not so that you've got a stick to beat yourself with. It's information. It's really useful information that you can use to go, okay, actually, this didn't work for me. So what might instead? So what didn't go so well last year? Is there anything that you wanted to do but didn't? Was there something that was frustrating or disappointing, and why? Did you get stuck? What bad habits got in your way? We're going to have 3 minutes for this, okay? Okay, so stop that timer. I'm going to bring all of your faces back for me so that so that I can see you for a minute, because anyone who wants to share in the chat box what was a win of yours from this year, big or small, share something with us. I always love hearing what people have been up to. And while you guys are typing, I'm going to share a win of mine, and it's not entirely writing related, but it is in a bigger sense. One of my big goals for last year was that I wanted to feel creative again, because I just felt like I'd lost my way. I was uninspired about everything. So I tried a whole bunch of different stuff, and then I discovered weaving, completely fell into hole and fell in love with it. And that has not yet filtered through to my writing, but it's allowed me to think about my creativity in a much wider way and go, actually, I'm interested in all these different things. Why am I um holding myself down into this little box of what I think writing or whatever else should be? So it's been really interesting on a personal level. It's not a big win like a novel being published or whatever, but it's been really important to me. So Annie self-published your first nonfiction book. Joe, you did NaNoWriMo and got 20K done. Yes. Karen won a comedy writing competition. Nigel, oh, you're in a writing workshop. Brilliant. Fiona, yes, you do have an amazing group of writing friends, and you are doing amazing things with your novel. Elisa also had a go at Nano, wrote 20,000. Brilliant. That is fantastic. Reb, you wrote your first feature film script. Amazing. That's so cool. Patricia began your non-fiction series and plotted a fiction novel. Yes. Christina got paid $75 for publishing an essay that in a lit mag that you've been wanting to get into for ages. That is fantastic. Denise got married. Oh, congratulations. Published a book of short stories with soundtracks. That is very cool. Emily, oh, hello. Saw your hybrid, online in-person play. I didn't realize it was online in person. You may have said that and I just didn't realize, but that's very cool. Amani found a nice community and participated in NaNoWriMo. Thanks to them. Fantastic. NaNoWriMo is so good, isn't it? Just kind of get you going. Claire, long list in novel competition. Ah, these are all so good. Esther, your novel will be published in February 2024. Can you drop us a link to it, maybe? That would be cool. Yes. Okay. These are all wonderful. Small wins and big wins. Tara, hi. You had a flash essay nominated. Brilliant. That's fantastic. Colleen, yes, Colleen, you have done amazing things. Completed the draft of book 2. Yes. Francis longlisted for a poetry 5 and published in 5 journals. 5, everyone. For anyone who doesn't know this, there is actually a sorry, I'm going to minimize my chat now, but there's actually a group, I think it's on Facebook, and it's the 100 Rejection Club, and they try to get 100 rejections in a year. So if you're writing short form, short stories, essays, whatever, the idea is that you need to be putting yourself out there to get the wins. And so you try and collect 100 rejections in a year. And I think actually it's a really nice way of looking at it, because you have to be putting yourself in a position where you might not get things in order, where you might get rejected in order to get the yeses. You'll never get anything if you're not putting it out there. So just in case that's a useful thing for anyone. So that is very cool. Well done, everyone. And let us move on to your writing dreams. So there's a couple of different questions here, and it's really just giving you different approaches, I suppose, to different entry points into deciding what your goals for the next year might be. So we're going to start with the big picture. So the first question is, what is your biggest, most ridiculous writing dream? So literally anything in the world, if you could write anything, achieve anything, be anyone in the writing world, have anything, do anything, what would it be? And I'm just going to give you a couple of minutes for that. Okay, big, ridiculous dream. Doesn't matter if you get there or not. It's still a very cool thing to have. Um, but so bringing it back slightly to possibly slightly more realistic level, where would you like to be as a writer in 5 years? And when you imagine this, I think it's important at this stage to start thinking about why. So if you want traditional publication, say, or if you want to win a particular prize, why is it? What is it that this dream in particular, this 5 year dreams means to you? Is it about the money? Is it about the lifestyle that you would have? Is it just about creative freedom? Is it about getting respect and admiration from your peers? Um, yeah, that's a really important thing to know. So I'm going to give you another couple of minutes to just, and this doesn't have to be your final dream. This is a dream, a vision of what you could be like as a writer in 5 years. Okay, so let's take another angle. What do you want to write? So put down this might be solid ideas that you have. So I want to write the Christmas rom-com. Or it might be something a bit more, a bit less solid. It might be half-formed ideas, just subjects that interest you, things that you want to say, genres that you want to write in. But try to dig out things that you want to be writing, not the things that you think that you should be. Um, yeah, so what is it that you want to write? What is it that you want to say? What do you want to talk about? So I'll give you another 2 minutes for that.
Hello, Charlie. Hello. I can't hear you, and it's Serena. Sorry.
Okay, Serena, it looks like you're out, and I don't know if you can see the chat. But we're on goals, and well, we're about to come up to goals actually. We're just talking about our writing dreams and stuff. Um, so if you're somewhere where you've got a notebook and pen, join in. And if not, then I can send you the recording later if you're out and it's not convenient for you to do now. Um, and so for possibly you, but for everyone else, the next question. So this is about what you would like to do in your wider writing life that might help you achieve those dreams or just help you in general. So it might be that actually there's a course you really want to go on. It might be that building a steady habit would really help you. It might be that you're at a stage where you need a professional author website, and so one of the things you want to do is to hire a website editor. So I will just give you a couple of minutes to expand that to non-writing writing stuff. Okay, so let's move on to putting that into actual goals. Woo! um, so this is the format that I tend to use. It's just a structure. It's not the only way or the right way of doing your goals. So if something else makes sense to you, do that. But let me explain why I do it this way. The I want to I would state what you want to do, but also try to encompass the why into it, because then you've got the why there as part of the goal that you can refer to at any point. And it also means that if things shift a bit, then the why is still in there, and you can gauge whether what it is that you want to change to is actually fitting that end goal, the what it is you're looking to get long term. So this year I'm gonna do whatever it is. Yeah, so actually I think possibly possibly I was thinking in terms of I want to being the long-term goal. And this year I'm going to that will be this year's goal. And to do this, I'm going to do something and then I'm going to do whatever. Because then you are starting to break down that goal as well. So I've got a couple of examples which are I think one is fits quite closely to that format and one goes off a bit so you can see that you can make it work for you. So one of them is I want to feel more like a writer by writing more and putting my work out there. I love to write about love and about the complexity of relationships. So this year, I'm going to write at least one short story a month based on those topics and find a list of competitions so that I can submit one story a month to a competition. So you can see how you've got your annual goal, which is that you're going to write one short story a month, but you've also got your why and you're starting to break it down into how you can actually do that. If you wanted to write a business book, I want to write a business book to establish myself as an authority figure, get speaking gigs, whatever. This year, I'm going to research how to approach publishers and agents, possibly join a course if I feel I need it. Then I'm going to write my chapter outline and proposal, find 10 targets to send it to, upgrade my social media to be more helpful so that I look more professional at the point that I'm sending it. So you're starting to break it down. Really, you're aiming to approach a publisher with a completed outline. So does that make sense? And what I would say is I've given you space to do 3 goals. It's entirely up to you how many you do. Can I suggest that doing more than 3, you've only got so much time and energy and you can't do everything. You can do lots of things and never quite complete any of them and be really frustrated, or you can narrow your focus down and make big progress on a smaller number of things. Now, some people, it's really important to them to have more than one project to bounce between them, and that works really well for them. For some people, doing one at a time is the only way. You can do things like you can set one goal, but that won't start until the middle of the year. I quite often do that. So make it work for you. Set 1 to 3 goals, and I'm going to give you sort of 10 minutes to do that actually, so that you can actually look back through what you've just written about what's important to you and try and find goals that work for you. Feel free to audition a few. Okay, has everyone got some goals, at least the start of some? And does anyone want to share their goals? Because these are really exciting things. What is the project that you are most excited about next year? Now, while you guys are typing, again, I will tell you one of mine. I actually haven't done my goals yet because I can't do this and also think about my own goals at the same time. But I already know that finishing my recipe book is on the goals for next year, because last year I decided that I would finally do it after saying that I would for years without really meaning it. And I have made a start. So this year is going to be the year that I'm going to get it finished. Putting it out there, quite scary. So what about the rest of you? Annie's going to outline and write the first draft of her fifth novel. Annie, are you also going to finish editing the one that you're on? I hope so. Colleen is going to launch book one. That's brilliant. Sarah, you had commented. Oh, I'm sorry, Sarah. How rude. You commented that you'd like this kind of thing as an app rather than a hard copy. Yeah, I know a lot of people prefer doing stuff digitally now. And I am working on a digital version that you can use on iPads and things. But I don't know if you actually mean something different. I don't know. I don't know how it would look as an app. So if anyone has any thoughts on that kind of thing, feel free to tell me, because you know, I want the things that I make to be useful to you lovely people. Elisa, you're going to finish the first draft of your first novel. Brilliant. Lucy, you're going to finish writing up your walking pilgrimage and share. Yes, I would love to see that. Sam, finishing Baker and Dagger book 3. First draft will be done by the end of April. Yes, absolutely. Sam, are your previous ones published? Because if they are, you can drop us a link and then we can all find something new to read. I can't remember off the top of my head. Aurora, finish your first novel you've been working on for years. Yes. Yeah. This will be the year. Sorry, Sane, you're the name's coming up in a way that confused me. Fiona, you want to get your first novel published, so finish the edit, do the line by line edit, finish the agent's pact, send out whispering. Yes. Kate, develop a writing habit. Brilliant. Anna, going to finish the novel on. I know that you are going into hermit mode, so thank you for coming and joining us on this. Claire, you're finishing a non-fiction book. Karen, writing at least 6 short stories and comedy sketches. Brilliant. Emily, new full-length play. Yeah, obviously it'll be the big competition winner. So one of the things about your goals and that is that you can have, you can set your dream goal of the bit that your big wildest dream can be winning the plays and everything, but obviously what you can control is the plays that you write and where you send them to and all of that stuff. So this is why it's good to have these specific goals and be breaking them down. Reb, you're writing a second film script. Joe, finished the first draft of crime novel by 31st of March. Got a deadline. Christmas romance novel, brilliant. Gail, finished the first draft. Yes. Sharon, next adult book and first draft of next kids book. First draft book for you. 4 books. That's a lot. Serena, habit stack. Yes. Yeah, I think focusing on habits is a really great thing to do. It doesn't have to be a goal in terms of finishing something. Colleen, can you share your new website? Of course you can. Denise, finish new novel and play. Serena, pitch. Yeah, Sharon. Yes. So one or two of you might, hold these goals lightly. It's you know what you need, so trust what you need. So I know that for me, I need goals to aim towards, but for some people their tendency is to aim for things that are physically impossible, and then it feels really overwhelming that they can't get to. So even now that you've set these, have in mind what's actually useful for you. Kathy, increasing focus. Yes, I know. Isn't that what we all need? I tell you what, I am desperate to go to one of those places where you go away without any phone or internet or anything for a few days. Maybe I should run a retreat like that. Right. Lovely. Thank you for sharing, everyone. Keep going if you want to, but let us now. Do I have these in the same order on the sheet? So we're going to move to the time machine exercise next because I'm not sure which order they come in the worksheet, but if you've got a breakdown next, then look past it until you see the time machine, which is also called your writing habits in the actual physical diary. So this is a very cool little trick. You're just going to visualize yourself in the future. It's the 31st of December, 2024, and you have achieved all of those goals that you wanted to do. And I want you to look back over the year of 2024 and just go over how you actually did it. So what were the daily and the weekly habits that got you there? When things went badly, because they will do at some point in the year, and you lost a bit of confidence, how did you recover? How did you pull yourself out of the hole and get back to writing? Was there anything that you had to change from the way that you acted or the way that you thought last year? What did you stop doing? What did you start doing? What did you, and this could be big stuff like going away for a few days and turning up to a place with no internet, or it could be small things like you remember to put your headphones in so that you didn't get distracted by anything and everything. So let me give you, what am I going to give you? I'm going to give you just 3 minutes, I think, to just put yourself in the future, give yourself the information that you need now about the habits, what you needed to get there. Okay. Um, that list of writing habits, the things that you need to remember is something to keep coming back to, because quite often we know what we need, but we don't give it to ourselves, or we forget, or we don't take that extra step of setting the timer or whatever it is that works for us. And also what we need does change over time and depending on the circumstances we're in. So do keep coming back to that. And I'm sorry, Susie, I moved on before I read out what you're going to do. Yes, starting morning pages every day. Some kind of journaling may well be on my goals as well. It's such a good thing to do. And do get back to your novel because I want to read it. Everyone whose work I actually know about, I want to read. So please, all of you, definitely do it this year. So now we're going to move, I believe we're actually moving backwards in our sheet to the goals breakdown. I don't know why I've done it the other way around this year. We'll go with it. So this is all about making your goals manageable. And you will have some kind of a chart here with the year broken down into 4 chunks. The reason that I think this is good to do is that thinking about a year at a time is just too big. So break it down into quarters, then break it down into months so that it is all much more manageable. We're only going to take a few minutes for this. So just fill in the bits that make sense to you. For some people, it will make sense to fill the whole thing in now. You may find that actually one of your goals doesn't even start until the last quarter. That's fine. But this is kind of your overall map that you can keep looking at and tweaking from. And it just gives you that overview so that you can see what's going on in the whole year at a time. So just take a few minutes to start breaking it down, and maybe try to at least get those first quarter goals set in. Okay. Okay, so the next step will obviously be to break that down into those quarterly chunks down into months and then into weeks. But I think you've probably done enough for today, and we are at the hour mark. I'm so pleased that we've almost fit this in. So I'm going to stop sharing. And yeah, like I said, these goals are to help you, not to hinder you. So let them settle for a day or two, come back, see how they feel, see if you need to add anything in. And as you come into doing the monthly and the weekly sorry, breakdowns of them. I was distracted by my timer there. Then start thinking about, actually, what else have I got going on? Is this realistic? How can I find the time? And start to formalize it a bit if you need to. And also don't forget that you can give yourself those sub goals. You can give yourself things like, I know it will help me if I set my alarm at this time. It's fine to put things on your goals that aren't write for an hour, write 500 words, that kind of, you'll go make your goals in whatever way makes sense to you. And yes, have you all got some kind of, I can see most of you now, have you all got some kind of a plan, thoughts on what you might want to do this year? Okay, there are some there are some happy faces and there are some people who are still working. Shirley, you are very, very welcome, and it's really nice to see you. What I'm going to do is I'm going to turn off the recording in a second. So those of you who are joining us later, I hope that you have also got something out of this. And I'll turn off the recording, and then anyone who does want to stay and say hi in actual human face-to-face talk, then do. And anyone who doesn't, just slide on out. And I hope you all have a really, really wonderful year of writing.